Hello, everyone. Coming at you from the Transformative Content Fair Use Studios in New Jersey. It's Disney Detonation on August 1st, 2023 at approximately 8:05 p.m. And today I've decided to do kind of something like a talk soup. I don't know if whomever's watching this knows what that is. That was like a show back in the early 2000s where they would take a bunch of different talk shows, cut them up, and make goofy comments on them. I keep moving this mic around because I'm an idiot and I don't know where it should go. I think I need a new mic because this huge screen I'm hiding behind it. Yeah, so we got that. So the first clip is going to be about JoJo's World. He's got a big announcement today, and you had to get through about 30 minutes of content before you could watch it or figure out where he was going. His big reveal, and 30 minutes was him and his buddies walking around buying clothes. So, and he's getting thousands of views for that. So we got that. So let's listen. Let's watch.
Well, it's been a fun day of shopping. Thanks for joining this come shop with me. Well, I don't know if you heard that girl scream it, but we're going to Dubai. We're going to Dubai, the United Emirates.
United Arab Emirates.
Yeah, and we're gonna go to all the theme parks there. Abu Dhabi. They have a SeaWorld out there.
SeaWorld.
Ferrari
World.
And then obviously Warner Brothers.
Burj Khalifa.
Explore the
Wiz
nightlife.
Khalifa.
We've been hearing
You guys are going at the Burj Khalifa. I'm staying down on the ground where my vertigo won't get the best of me. So.
Maybe some camel riding.
This is going to be definitely my biggest trip ever because there's no Disney involved. This is me just trying to step into a whole new realm of travel. It's part of my growth, and I'm really glad that these two can join me. I wouldn't ask
for the invite, man.
Yeah,
I guess you could say it's a whole new world.
A whole new world. It really is.
You'll find a booth.
Wow.
Cringe.
Have you seen it? Anyway, I did ask Jeet to come, and he said, I don't know. So,
We'll kidnap him.
yeah. Regardless, guys, if you're excited for this new trip, please like this video, share it.
I'm
it's
excited.
Great. And remember, every day is a blessed day to be alive. I hope to just experience the culture, like you said earlier. So,
Yeah, I left that last part in when I came out of the YouTube thing and made the screen smaller because he's like, I want to experience the culture. Well, you're not going to experience the culture in Dubai. It borders Saudi Arabia, and only in 2018 Saudi Arabia allowed women to start driving cars. I mean, I'm sure Dubai is going to be fantastic. I mean, it's a playground for the rich. It's crazy. It's madness as far as that kind of stuff goes. And I hear what I've read is the nightlife is crazy. But on the glass is half empty side, there's a big Vice piece about the migrant workers that they brought in to build Dubai, and it's basically like the company store type of situation. I don't know if you know what that is. So like you become indebted to your employer, and you're basically paying for your room and board, or you're not getting enough money to move on. You can't leave. Oddly enough, my grandfather his family were coal miners in Pennsylvania mountains way back, and he got out. He got to go to college, but most of his family were like they never got out. So I thought that was interesting. I mean, it will be interesting to see the flight. I don't know. I would assume they're going to take United Emirates airline, which like looks crazy to me. But yeah. So that's that. And on a sidebar, is Kyle coming with you? Bubba. All right, let's move on. So the next clip is right up Main Street. I figured out what that girl's name was. That was sharing a vlog with LVB TV vlogs, the merchandise pimp girl, and she went to God, I gotta stop saying something. She went to Port Orleans Riverside, which is my favorite place to stay, favorite hotel. It's awesome, and they have a bar there called maybe it's not maybe she went to Roosters because Scat Cats is at Riverside, and then Rooster's Roost is at at the Port Orleans side. So let's get into it. Let me just start it because I can't remember.
Along with those delicious beignets, there's also
Scat Cat.
a
You can see
little
Scat
beverage
Cat
for us
right
to
there.
try
So that's
right next door, a spooky margarita, which sounds really good to me. This margarita can be found at Scat Cat's Lounge, which is right next to where you get the beignets.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Let's take a look at this drink. It's called the Playful Spirit. So it's got Patron, it's got Contra. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Lime juice, of course. Blah. A fresh Parker Red Blend Floater. Now I have no idea what that. Oh, Fest Parker. I have no idea what that is. I should have looked that up. But damn, does that look good? Am I jelly? Hell yeah, I am. All right, the audio just cut out. Let's get back to her video.
We are going to sip on this Playful Spirits Spooky Margarita first. It has tequila, lime juice, a red blend floater, and a black salt rim. I love a good themed beverage, and this one definitely...
Can you not say
plays the part. It looks
beverage?
so cool, the color of the beverage
Ugh.
with the black salt rim. Let's try it out. Oh yeah. That is delicious. Definitely the perfect spooky drink. I feel like my lips are gonna turn black from that salt, we'll see. Also, they are definitely not skimping on any tequila in this drink. It is so strong, so if you like a strong margarita, this is for you.
It is for me, amateur. Yes, I do like a strong margarita. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm starting kind of a new weird segment, just kind of a fun thing. Where is my... It's you be the judge. So it's going to be like small clips of some of these people. Are they nerds? Are they drunk? Are they wrong in what they're saying? Do they know what they're talking about? Do they not know what they're talking about? Stuff like that. So in this situation, or in this clip, it is this new vloggers. These new vloggers I found. It's OYBY. So I don't know. It's Oi Boy or Oi Beat By. I have no idea. So I'm not going to speculate. I've only watched a couple of their videos, and this one I thought was pretty damn funny. Whoop. Yeah, it's not that one. It's this one.
I have a bunch of like old Pokemon packs that I tried to open very carefully so that you can make wall art out of them if you want to.
Really?
Yeah.
I collected like 1,000 Pokemon packs and I threw them in the air and had a good time with them, and then I finally threw them away.
Alright, so we got Umi, Mystical Sheep number 2, Petite Angel, Mystical Moon, Stop Defense.
Mystical Moon.
I got the Ultra Rare! Students! I win, it's my birthday! Oh my god! Are you kidding me? I'm left-footed though. I'll take it. Do you want to trade?
No, it's fine.
That's cool. You got
Do you want to trade?
a piece of Exodia, and then I got Regeki.
I don't know about you, but my Regeki is tired.
Dude, that's awesome. Do you want to go buy some more packs?
Maybe.
So I looked it up, and not every pack comes with a holo or a foil card, as they say in the Yu-Gi-Oh community.
Not every pack comes with a foil card in the whatever the hell he was talking about. All right, so the next one is I started it, stopped it to play this other one, and this is you tell me.
Want to let me know how it is?
Tastes like a beer.
You finally got your beer, right?
You finally got your beer.
It begins!
For all your drinks. I think we got a pretty good combination of drinks today, just between the two of us. Yeah? I just wanted to do a fun picture where he pretends to be passed out on the bench here from technically only drinking halfway around the world.
Totally pretending. I thought that was hilarious. Totally pretending. You at that time of the year, you drink outside. You don't drink water. You're an amateur. You try to man up and go around. You're gonna pay for that in the long run, my friend. Every single time. All right. So what's next? Okay. So the next one is this this Provost vlogger that I had never seen before. I mean, the guy looks sort of like Niles Niles the Science Guy, but he looks like Niles the Science Guy after a hard night of drinking. But he had this video that was really it was really good. He did like 10 hidden things in Hollywood studios, and like 8 of them I was like, wow, I never knew that. That's really cool. There was like a key under a mat, and there were some hidden Mickeys. I mean, it was like, there's nothing to bust balls on. But then I found this, which was close to the end, and I thought it was kind of weird.
Hey, before we continue on, I just want to take a quick moment to talk to you. And I am talking to you. And I want to address something.
You're talking to me?
Somebody kind of says they're like, oh my gosh, why do you do that in every video? Why do you save these messages? And I was like, it's important to me. Because
listen, maybe I'm I'm definitely a glasses, half empty guy, but maybe it's just a disconnect here. You're gonna sit here and preach to a bunch of people you don't know about how they're great, they're awesome, and they're good people. I just kind of got a, I don't want to say hard time with it, but it just seems so unrealistic.
I feel like that I want people to know that they are important. And I know that some people are like, whatever, Chris, it's dumb. It's not dumb to me. I want you to know that I think that you are important. You make the world a better place. Did you know that? Just by being here. You absolutely are wonderful. Did you know that? You make the world a better place because you bring a certain energy.
Well, thank you, sir. I'm so glad I make the world a better place.
And vibe into this amazing place. And I want you to know that no matter how, like if you get depressed, sad, if you're having a medical issue, if you're having a hard time with your job, it's going to get better. And the reason it's going to get better is because you are amazing. And I hope you guys know that I really mean it. I just want you to know that I've also gone through some hard times myself. And sometimes I just wish that somebody would have been there to kind of pick me up and say, Chris, it's going to be fine. And so, since I understand that, I just want you guys to know, it's going to be fine.
It's going to be fine, guys. I mean, I appreciate it. I think it's a good gesture, but it's just like, for me, like there's, you think about Ukraine, you think about some of these other countries and what's going on with boots on the ground. It's just like, I mean, it's a nice gesture, my friend, but I mean, come on, dude. Do we really have to go there? All right, so the next and the last will be, this is going to be a long segment, so if you want to bail out now, it's about the what Iger said about attendance and things of that nature. And there's a vlogger who are, in my opinion, in my feeling, they're the king of the vlogs for the most part, especially when Pete Warner is on there. It's the Diz. And Pete is like one of my favorite vloggers, podcasters, OGs of this whole genre. He's smart. He started his own travel company. He's been around for forever, and he knows what's going on, as opposed to some of these other new jacks who just kind of steer away from some of the issues that are going on, and kind of, I want to say pretend, but just pretend things that are happening aren't happening, and ignoring some of the things in the news. So let me start this. Now.
The following day, Iger shows up on CNBC Squawk Box and aiming to the biggest Disney villain since Bob Chapek himself. Starting with the parks, he commented on the Wall Street Journal article that mentioned declining crowds. He said the article wasn't accurate, and in terms of July 4th crowds, he blamed the weather. It was really hot and humid in Orlando on that day, like it is
Every
most
day.
of the days in the summer. He also cited that Florida opened up early during the COVID pandemic and had no competition back then, but now they do, and that's why Walt Disney World is starting to see a decline, but ultimately
They had no competition aside from Universal Studios, who didn't have the restrictions they had.
World is where the Disney brand lives in its most sublime form. He also said pricing isn't a concern on top.
Now that, I mean, this isn't Pete Warner. I can't remember this handicapped guy's name. I mean, he's somewhat irritating at times and very opinionated, and I don't agree with what he says, but he's not a dumb man.
Top of declining attendance not being a concern, and overall for the parks there are no long-term concerns, which I feel like anyone who is a Disney fan visiting Disney parks would look at it and say, are you serious? There's definitely some concerns with what's happening.
Tell it, brother.
In the parks right now.
This is
And that's Pete.
This is the problem, right? This has been Disney's problem for a long time.
they live in their own echo chamber, and you tell them the sky is blue, and they'll argue the point with you. No, it's not. It's green. And I was just reading an article. I think it was in Forbes that said that Disney is basically having a garage sale right now.
It was a yard sale, and it was an awesome article. I should put a link to it in the description. I don't know if I will.
They're putting ABC up for sale. They want a strategic partner, somebody to buy in on ESPN. They have to buy out. They're contractually obligated to buy out the rest of Hulu. Their streaming is losing money like crazy. Netflix is about to report their quarterly earnings, and they just had the best quarter they've ever had, or they've had in a long time. So and then you take a look at Disney stock just since Iger came in. There was all this excitement that he was going to turn the company around, myself included. And
everyone
here we
included.
Are, 7 months, 8 months in, and I don't know what he's turning around. Now, a few months ago, he was telling Forbes that prices at the park got out of control. We went too far. Now he's saying it's not a concern.
That really irritated me. I mean, the prices are not a concern. This whole Disney Genie Plus thing has to go. It's making staying at the Disney, going to Disney World, staying on grounds. I mean, I guess staying on grounds makes it a little easier, but it makes it a job. It makes going on rides and setting up your day a job.
He's saying this crap about July 4th, that it was the weather, because it's always so seasonable and beautiful on July 4th in Orlando, right? Our summers are so cool and breezy.
They're gorgeous.
And it's the one thing that did give me some hope was that as I was, as some of the stories that were floating after it was announced that he was extending for 2 years, and the search for a new CEO. It was the first time I'd seen Josh D'Amaro's name thrown around as a potential successor, and I'd be very happy with that personally.
I like Josh as a person. I want them to choose someone from outside the company. I think that Iger had Chapek as his person before him, and much in the same way, if Josh is sitting there learning all these things from Iger, who
true.
has kind of shown that.
And here's one of the great things about Pete Warner. If you don't watch this show, he's actually not doing this. I don't know if it's live, but this podcast anymore, because he's disenchanted with the parks. But if you disagree with him and you come up with a good salient point and that counters his, he will say, you know what, you're right. And then when he feels that you're wrong, he'll be like, no, you're wrong, and here's why. I mean, that, as far as I'm concerned, like with these things, when you have, I don't know how many mics they have more than 3 sometimes, you have this back and forth, and it's actually amicable. It makes the podcast so much better.
Right. While he's a great businessman and he has done great things for Disney, I just, with some of the stuff that he said about like the writer's strike last week,
my God,
we'll get into that too, but with the stock,
they get into. I cut the writer's strike stuff out because, to me, I don't care. The way we've been talked down to by these actors, the way the writing of the Disney Plus stuff has gone, like the writing period, it's terrible now. It's like it's not even about storytelling anymore. It's like, I mean, it's crazy. Like screw you. I mean, like, you're done. And the crazy thing about this is, like, there's a reckoning coming for Hollywood. So now the writers strike, and the actors struck at the same time. So my understanding is, like, all the production has stopped, writing has stopped. So everything in the pipeline that's supposed to be coming out, like 6 months, a couple of years. I mean, from my understanding, they stopped. The Marvels aren't coming out just because the actors can't do press junkets. So this is going to screw them so badly in the long run as far as like putting out content. And you have YouTube and other avenues of entertainment. You're screwing yourselves with this. You're finished after this. Cable is dead. Okay, streaming services, Netflix, they're doing well. Disney Plus is dying. You're done. I haven't had cable in 5 years. 5 years. My daughter doesn't watch regular television. So these people are like, it's like the Titanic, and they're just like drilling holes in the hull.
As of right now, it's at $85.62. The last time it was that bad was on March 20th of 2020, when it hit a low of $85.98. And that, of course, was, I believe, the day that everything shut down, right in there. So we are now with Disney stock at just an awful, awful place. And, I think he's promoting the stability of the parks right now because, yes, they are making money. It is.
He's promoting the stability of the parks because that's all they have. That's it. So Chapek came in and came up with whatever, him and his cadre of evildoers came up with all these ways to squeeze the last bit of juice out of this place. And now it's coming back to haunt you because attendance is down. You don't have the same accoutrements as far as the services. You don't have room service anymore unless you're staying at a deluxe place or you complain. You don't have the Disney Express. You have this crazy tier system. This I want to call it like what is it? This feudalistic system with Genie Plus. People are pissed. I'm going on a cruise in a couple of weeks. Normally I'm down there in another couple of weeks. I'd be looking forward to having that Playful Spirits drink in Port Orleans. Yeehaw pop. But guess what? I'm not going.
Still a secure place for them to bring in money while movies have been a little bit wobbly. Disney Plus is a very big problem among others. So if they want to sell a good look at the company, the best thing you can do is say, well, the parks are still stable and we see no long-term problems, even if fans and people from the outside are starting to notice the problems. They're going to still sell that as much because Disney Plus is going to continue to be
so they're saying there's no long-term problems with the parks. That's yet to be determined. So you have the holidays coming up, which is the busiest times. I haven't looked at if you can still get tickets for the Not So Scary Halloween. I haven't looked at all of the holiday events that they have. The Very Merry Christmas. They came out with a new one this year for Hollywood Studios. So we'll see how that goes. If the parks aren't at capacity during the holidays, there is a very, very serious problem here, and that'll be the litmus test. There's no hiding behind weather or anything else.
Problem for them. And I mean, literally, they're sitting there. He's sitting on CNBC saying we might have to look at getting rid of ABC, National Geographic, and FX because that old traditional model of cable is no longer financially worthwhile. Like, they're not ready to pull the trigger on that, but they're considering that. And, like, really? Like, I get the content is good on those channels, but no one, like, people talk about cable being in decline, but the story is still Disney Plus, and he's trying to distract from...
It's Disney Plus, but it's also Disney Studios. From my understanding, the new Haunted Mansion movie is, like, not doing well. Like, I have really no desire to see it in the theater. I'll watch it when it comes out on, streaming. But, I mean, I don't, like, some of you might be too young to remember the Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion. I went to the theater to see that. It was garbage. It was garbage. And after all the stuff that's come out, I'm not going to spend money and time to go to a theater to see this. I mean, I take my daughter. It's like I got to buy a Coke. I got to buy a bucket of popcorn. You're talking. But for all of us, it's well over $100. I got a 70-something inch TV and a kick-ass surround sound system. Why am I going to spend all that money to go to the theater when your product is like at this point is kind of sketchy at best?
Disney Plus
It's
being
the
so
business.
bad.
It's the business equivalent of sticking your fingers in your ear and going.
God, I
"La,
love
la,
this
la,
guy."
la, la, la." He doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear it. Now, the Wall Street Journal, not the only outlet reporting on the issues at the parks. Washington Post has reported on it. I know because they interviewed me for that. CNN interviewed me about it. There's been a ton of articles here in Florida about it. And it's like everybody can't be wrong.
Say it, Pete. Get him.
Everybody can't be wrong. And, let's remember, this is what they said they wanted. That's why they were raising prices, was to depress the crowds in the park because the number one complaint was lines.
Disney's rolling in his grave over this.
So let's, they're getting what they wanted, and this is the end result of it. Because honestly, what they really want is to fill the parks to capacity and charge as much money as they can get away with charging. It was never about controlling the crowds. Never about controlling the crowds.
Yeah. And my biggest issue, though, with everything Iger said during that interview wasn't about the parks itself. It was about the writer's strike.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Andy Cap, for letting us know that your biggest issue is Hollywood. I don't know if you know people that are actors or are in production. I mean, granted, they're the percentage-wise, the people that are making the most money are like this very small percentage of the people that are in SAG and blah blah blah. But those people make the perception of actors and actresses, so they're the ones to blame. Nobody's feeling sorry for these people because of the way they've conducted themselves over the past couple of years, and that's a fact. So, well. All right, so that's my rant. So the first half of this was just fun and games, and the second half of this was ranting and raving. But I digress. So I don't know when the next time I'm going to do this. I don't know if I'm going to try to do it daily, but I think I kind of wanted to start doing, because I'm a big Giants fan, and also I love to watch movies, and I put a review of Secret Invasion. So I'm like, should I stick all that stuff in here, or should I make two separate channels for sports and movie reviews? I have no idea what I'm doing. Not that anyone's going to watch this anyways, but to start two other channels and link them all together is a big pain in the ass. So I don't know what to do in that regard, because what would be really cool is I have season tickets to the Giants, and I would love to stream an entire tailgating event. From leaving my house to getting into the stadium to walking around, and seeing all what's going on. I think people would really enjoy that. But I tried to live stream with my phone, and I think you need 1,000 subscribers, and then there's only a certain percentage of people can watch when you have 1,000 subscribers. I don't understand YouTube yet. I'm just feeling my way around it, but I thought that would be cool. Don't know if that's going to happen. Probably not. Maybe I'll just record it and then post it, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, that's my rant for this evening, and I just want to say thank you to anyone who's watching this or cares, and end transmission.